Life.
And Rebecca.
And today we're going to talk about how we met.
So let's get into it. We met back in 2020.
2020.
To be exact, it was May of 2020. And we met on this app.
You want to tell them about the app?
Yes.
Okay. So we met on Tinder.
Yeah, so let's do a little background story.
A little backtrack.
I was on Tinder because two of my friends, they were on Tinder, and obviously the pandemic was going on. So we're, just bored at the house, trying to talk to folks and whatnot. So I was on there, and we were kind of having a competition of who can get the most likes or whatever the case was. I don't remember. But that's why I was on Tinder, not necessarily looking for a relationship or, anything, just somebody to talk to or trying to do the competition of the likes and whatnot. So why were you on Tinder?
Alright, so I was on Tinder because when Tinder first was popular, I guess, my friend has actually shown me Tinder. I was like, what's that? And he was like, yeah, this is Tinder. And I was like, what you doing there? And he kind of explained it a little bit. And so I was on there because I'm gonna keep it real. I was shy. I didn't like going out. I didn't I went out, but I didn't talk to girls like that or whatever. I didn't go confront him and be like, what's going on and all that stuff, whatever. So I was on Tinder and I was looking for something serious. And I was looking for something serious for a long time, a couple of years. And then, yeah.
So we came across each other's page and we swiped right and whatnot. And then I forgot who sent the first message.
I don't even remember. I think it was me.
Yeah, because I wasn't sending the first message since I wasn't really on there to, do anything. But so he sent the first message and we kicked it off. The first thing he told me I was like, I'm from Arkansas, He's like, oh, my brother plays football there. And I'm like, okay, it didn't really have nothing to do with us, but okay.
So you're trying to get straight into it?
Yeah, I was just like, I was trying to obviously know about him and whatnot if I swipe right, not about your brother, but
I was trying to make conversation.
Yeah. And so we were on Tinder, texting back and forth for about a week, I think. And then we went on to Snapchat. And then once we went on to Snapchat.
Alright, so check this out. Okay, so as soon as we swiped right on each other and we started talking or whatever, as soon as we swiped right on each other and then we started talking, she deleted her app.
Yeah.
Because she knew.
Yeah, deleted Tinder. Obviously, I was talking to a couple guys on Tinder, but once, we started actually talking, I liked how, his personality was going. I was like, okay. We got on Snap, so I just deleted Tinder because obviously I didn't need it. But yeah, once we got on Snapchat, I was only talking to him just because our conversations were, interesting and they were going on. It wasn't a boring moment.
Mm-hmm.
But so we were on Snapchat probably for a month before we got each other's number, I think.
Was it a month? I feel like it wasn't that long.
Maybe 3 weeks?
I don't know. Yeah, but
something like that.
It wasn't that long, and then we started texting.
Yeah. And then the texting was 24/7, from morning to night.
And she had asked me, she was like, why don't you have your read receipts on or whatever it is? And I was like, I don't know, why you want me to have them on for?
To see when he was reading it and texting back and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, and then we started FaceTiming, and FaceTiming was every day, all day type thing, because obviously at the time he was unemployed, right, because of the pandemic. And then I actually had COVID, so I was out for 2 weeks. So in that time, we got to know each other very well. And
okay, so I asked her out, and I was like, I texted her, and I was like, so I kind of like this one girl, and she was like, who? I was like, I don't know, this girl, she got COVID, and she got 2 little dogs. I was talking about her.
It was being corny. It was so cute.
So yeah.
I still have those messages
do
too.
you?
Yeah, they're on Snap.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's funny. I'll insert it if I go back to it. But so once we started FaceTime and whatnot, Obviously, we knew we started to like each other, and we were long distance, so we were kind of afraid. And actually, he went on a trip with his friend to Texas, and in that time, we were probably like a month, no, like 2 months in of talking.
I
I
don't
don't
even
know,
know. I don't
something
even
like
know.
that of talking. And I told him, I was like, okay, like I really like you, but let me tell you something,
Oh my
like about my
gosh.
mom. Like my mom was, she was really straight because I just had gotten out of a relationship like 2 years prior, I think, and she, she's strict on me about what kind of boy I'm dating or whatnot. Just she just wanted me to be careful and play
Mhm.
safe and not just fall for them too fast. So I told him how she was and how she was when he would have met her. That she's like very, what would be the word for it? Like strict,
She is like, yeah, kind of
but
strict, but she's caring at the same time.
yeah, overprotective.
Right.
Because she's always like calling me when I'm with him. Well, back in the day when we were seeing each other, the long distance, she was always calling me, and I told him that's how she was. But after he breaks that wall with her, that everything was gonna be okay. And then I guess you got to thinking that night. Because remember, that
Yeah.
night was kind of like we were almost gonna cut it off.
Yeah, I started thinking, I was like, man, I don't know how I would feel about like dealing with certain situations like that. Like, I didn't know how to feel about it. And then cause she lived with her mom, cause she take care of her mom and stuff like that, and they help each other out, whatever it is. And then so I was like, dang, I don't know if I want to be in that type of relationship at first. And I was like, I just had to really sit back and think about it and see if like this was what I wanted to do. But then I came to the conclusion, and I was like, you know what? If you want something to work, you really just have to fight for like what you want. You really have to just move your emotions out the way, and you're gonna have to really just see what's it about. So that's what I've been doing, and that's ever since. So
Yeah, so that night it was almost over, but
yeah.
obviously we knew we wanted something serious
Hmm.
and whatnot. And we both came from rough relationships, so we were straightforward with that. And after that night, we still haven't seen each other yet. So a couple weeks later, we plan to meet up. And I'll never forget. So we plan to meet up on a certain day, and then he texts me that morning and says, "Oh, I won't be able to go down because I had to go to my mom's house, wait for the Cox guy or some shit like that."
Which was true.
And I was like, okay. He told me this the day after. So the day we were supposed to meet, he ghosted me the whole day. And I was like, really? I was blowing him up. I was even thinking about texting his friends, asking
I'm really
if they
laughing.
know about him. But so the next day, he finally texted me back, and he was like, that's when he told me, oh, I had to go to my mom's house and wait for the Cox guy. And he says it's true, but
My mom told her that's what happened.
she said it could have been true.
Oh,
Who knows if it was on that exact same day?
It was.
Whatever.
But anyways, the moral of the story is that I didn't realize that she was in a certain city, and I was just when I looked Google put it on the maps because I didn't really go nowhere like that. And I put Arkansas. I was like, dang, this thing is 4 hours long. Do I really want to go back and forth for 4 hours of like
Of the drive.
of the drive? So I'm just like, man, I don't know. So what happened the next day?
So the next day we talked about it, and I was like, no, we're only 2 hours away, not 4. And he's like, 2. So he actually came down that weekend, but only for the day. He came down, I think it was a Friday, and we met up, we hung out. But when I first seen him, I was like, dang, he's tall. You're 6'3", right?
Yeah.
I was like, dang, he's tall. And what did you think about me? Because I was outside waiting when you pulled up.
Oh, you were out at your apartment?
Yeah, I was down there. Remember? You pulled in.
I was kind of shy. I was like, man, like, because in my back of my mind, I'm like, her mom is here. Like, I wonder how she don't feel. Like, I already had to meet her mom, basically. And, like, I just got there, and I was like, it was just a lot of, like, pressure on me, I guess. But I never fold. So, like,
Yeah.
I went to her, and I was like, Dang, like she was short, and but you know she was
You know, we
extremely beautiful, and I was like, hey, this is like work.
And so for our first date, we went where we went to the park, chilled, talked, and whatnot, and then we went out to eat to this Mexican restaurant, La Huerta, and it was not good. It was not good at all.
I mean, sorry, Loetta, but
Yeah.
it wasn't that good for us. It, you know, it didn't have a whole lot of seasoning for me. And like when we first started talking, I was used to I wasn't a real good like eating breakfast. I didn't like eating breakfast at all. I wasn't a real like morning person. So we got there at the time. I think I had just woken up, and then I drove there, and then we ate. Yeah, I didn't eat anything. So I don't know. I didn't like the food at all. We both didn't like the food. We were like, this ain't it. So what happened next?
And then after we ate, we went to the car and we chilled and we went to the movies that night.
Mm-hmm.
And we caught a movie. Then
Caught a vibe.
Literally. And then we came home and he had to leave. So he drove 2 hours home and whatnot.
Yeah, and I would say like when I got home, I was really sitting back and I was like, dang, like man, I wish we had more time to spend because like I think she had to work and I was busy and we were just both doing stuff, and so that's when it kind of kicked in. And I was like, dang, she could really like, you know, we could really be for each other. So yeah, I kind of hit it off from there, and I was like, man, let's make this work, man. So I think I went back the next weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I came back the next weekend and we hanged out. I think we hung out for like 2 days.
Yeah, that's when you stayed the night.
Yeah, we hung out for 2 days, and then that's when we kind of realized like, you know,
we like.
Yeah, it's getting
like
serious.
What's going on?
Yeah, because we both wanted a relationship and we both wanted a, you know.
A real serious.
Yeah, real serious.
With no games
right.
and whatnot.
Exactly. Like we both knew what we wanted and we both knew how each other were just off of those couple weeks. And so obviously we still kind of waited a little bit more just to make sure that both of us what we wanted for each other. But sure. Well, look, we're here now.
Yeah. So after a few times of hanging out, he popped the question.
Yep.
And he asked me in a simple way, just, how'd you say, do you want to be, or would you, or I don't even know. How'd you say, do you remember?
I think I was just like, yeah, do you want to be my girlfriend?
Yeah. And we were eating snow cones.
Okay, so me, I figured, I didn't really think like, oh, you still have to ask the question. Like, you still have to ask her, like, do you want to be together? Because I figured like we was kind of together already. Yeah. I wasn't thinking though, but I know obviously like that's what you got to do. But so, right. And then I think she actually told me, she was like, you know, it'd probably be best if you ask the question instead of us. Yeah. So then that's when I did that, and I actually asked her, but she didn't actually. I don't think you actually thought about like when is he gonna ask, because we were just having a vibe, and so that's when I did it, and it was kind of off guard, and so.
Yeah. And ever since then, so we got together July 30th.
Yep.
Of 2020.
2020. Mm-hmm.
So we got together pretty quick. That's the fastest I ever got into a relationship. But I mean, when you know, you know, you know.
After like so many relationships or whatever it may be, and after so long, if you just have that vibe with someone, you know what it is. Like, you just like, this we gotta work it out. We gotta stick together, and we gotta see where it actually leads. And, like, I knew she was a good person. I knew that it was just like she lived with her mom, and then she had this other stuff going on. But I knew how she was. I knew her mom. She was strict and she was overprotective. So I already kind of knew like, oh, Rebecca is not really that type of person that just go out and do whatever. And like, that's not what I liked. So yeah.
And I know he was a homebody because every time we talked, that's all we did.
Yeah, I didn't go out nowhere. Chilling at home and minding my own business and trying to just find love. Right.
So once we started dating, we were long distance, of course, and then so we seen each other twice a month. One weekend I'll go down to Tulsa and be with him, and then 2 weeks after that he'll come down and be with me for the weekend. And we did that for about 7-8 months. Yeah. And I mean, it was hard because obviously we wanted to spend a lot more time with each other and whatnot. But I think that also helped our relationship to get stronger.
Yeah.
Just because we were long distance, and then the time we did have, we spent it quality time. We had a lot of quality time and whatnot.
So yeah, I think that's about wraps up the video. If you guys want to see a part 2,
No.
make sure to click that like and subscribe. And we appreciate y'all. We out. Gang.
Babe, what I was trying to continue to say in the last part was that, so in December, he was down one weekend, and we actually got snowed in, so he couldn't go back, and he was stuck with me for a week.
Oh yeah, that was nice.
And yeah, it was really nice to have more time with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when we started talking about, making that an everyday thing and moving in with each other.
Yeah.
And so we set a date that we were gonna move in within a year, right? I think it was, because he had recently just moved in by himself.
Yep.
And so we were gonna let that at least, be done, and then we were gonna move in together. But things took a turn, and tell them why they took a turn.
Things took a turn because when two people get together and they love each other so much that they get comfortable with each other, and then they start to have, feelings for each other, right? So they have all these feelings, and they feel really good with each other. So
they do grown up things.
They do grown up things, and then once they do grown up things, a certain part of another universe allows that certain person to have a child. So that's what happened.
We found out we were pregnant.
We found out that she was pregnant on display.
And obviously we weren't planning to have a child or start a
We
family
were
that
planning,
soon.
right? We were planning, but we weren't like expecting.
Yeah, but we weren't planning that soon either.
Right.
But things happen. God has a different plan.
That's right.
And so we found out we were pregnant, and then that's when we started talking more serious. We're like, okay, so now that I am pregnant, when are we gonna
move
do
in?
this? Yeah. When are we actually gonna
get together and be together in one house?
Yeah.
So that's when I decided. I was like, you know what? Because I was already planning on moving there and living with her and talking to my family and see if that was the best option for myself before any of that stuff actually happened. And so that's when I realized I did want to move into her, and then we got pregnant, and then I was like, okay, so I really got to buckle down and make this serious. And so I moved, and then moved with her, and then she was pregnant for 9 months.
Yeah, he moved in when I was like 2 months, I think.
Yeah, I moved in when she was 2 months.
2 months pregnant.
Right.
And it all worked out pretty well. Obviously, he helped me when I was in pain or I was sick, morning sickness and whatnot.
Yeah.
He took care of me. But
things a lot of guys should do.
Yeah.
If they get their loved one pregnant.
Yeah, having the support from him and whatnot really did help. Obviously.
Damn, babe, you going deep into it.